Welcome, everyone. Give yourselves a big round of applause for being here. Big pat on the back. You can be anywhere, doing anything you chose to be here. That is awesome. Hey, let's give it up for Kurt for laying a solid foundation here as we get started, rocking this weekend off. This incredible weekend. Kurt. All right, so great job, everybody. You guys are awesome. We say, I'm awesome.
I'm awesome.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and mute y'all now, so we don't interrupt the flow. So welcome everyone to Awakened Life Live. Again, you could be anywhere doing anything. You chose to be here. I honor you and appreciate you for that. So what is Awaken Life Live? Well, first of all, who's been to Awaken Life Live before? Let me see who's been here before. Okay, we got quite a few been here before. Who has not been to an Awaken Life Live before? Okay, like most of the people with their camera on have been to Awaken Life Live. The ones with their cameras off have not been to Awaken Life Live. So, all right, well, cool. Well, it's gonna be awesome. So for the people who've been before, what do you think? Are these people that are the newbies? Are they in for quite a treat, quite a surprise? It's a blind date. Everybody shows up here like, what is this thing? I'm coming to Awaken Life Live. I don't even know what this thing is. Like, we don't even know what it is. It's really, it's like the reason people show up, I don't know what this is, because we don't even know what it is. We don't know what we're doing. We got one job: stay out of the way. And as we stay out of the way, that's how you represent love on this planet, because that's what we're all here for. We're here for one reason: to represent love here on Earth. And as we represent love here on Earth, then we bring humanity home. So we didn't come here to get anything from this world, because we're whole and complete sovereign beings. Did you know that you're whole and complete sovereign being? You always have been, you always will be. That's who you are. So knowing that, once you begin to know that, then you can understand, well, there's obviously nothing that this world has for me. I actually have something for it. Because how could the world have something for you if you were whole and complete? If you whole and complete means there's no space in you. There's nothing that can be added to you. That's what whole and complete means. There's nothing can be added to you. So if you know that about yourself, then that means you can't be here to get anything. So you must be here for a different reason. So what's the different reason? It's to give something, because it's in giving that we receive. So you came here not to get anything from this world, but instead to bring your gift into it. And you are the gift. And we say, I'm the gift. And we say, I am the gift. It's you. You're the gift. That's it. That's literally why you're here, is to unwrap the package. See, on Christmas, we got all the little packages that are up that are under the Christmas trees. You get so excited. It's beautiful, all the packages, and some of them are really beautiful. Some of them like wrapped up in a little cardboard bag or something. But it doesn't matter what they're wrapped up in. It matters what's in that package. And so what Awaken Life Live is this is where you come to unwrap the gift that you are. You show up here to rip that thing open. You're like, we don't have to do it all. We're like, what you'll notice here at Awaken Life Live, we're not going to be like, okay, we're not the ones that are going to make sure the wrapping paper is still good to go at the end. The wrapping paper is going to be shredded at the end of this thing. But it's okay, because it was fun. We threw it all up in the air. That's why, Kirk said here, find yourself in the dysfunction, because one of the things that makes Earthwaking so different is that we put the fun in dysfunction. What? The fun in dysfunction? I thought dysfunction was a bad thing. No, it's just, there is not really any bad thing, except for in our own, the meanings that we assign to it. And then whenever we assign something, we say, well, that's bad. Well, that's just our own judgment. But you were never meant to judge, because the only thing that exists is love. Kirk was talking about it earlier. And everybody says that, all there is love. That's the only thing that's real. But that's what people say, but that's not what people are acting as if. They don't, faith without works is dead. Show me your faith without works, then I'll show you my faith by my works. So by the actions that I'm taking, you know what it is that I'm thinking. I know what you're thinking by what you're doing. I watch the way you walk. I don't watch how people's mouth move. I watch how their feet move. And as their feet move, it's showing what their thoughts are. So they could be saying one thing, but doing something completely different. So people, oh, love's all there is. Yet you're running around playing victim, acting like you're you a victim of something. You're like, you're maybe your parents screwed you up and it's their fault that you're all screwed up. Well, you know what? You're not screwed up. That's the thing. You can't solve a problem at the level of consciousness that created it. See, the only problem is that you think that there's a problem and that you're not supposed to have problems, because see, problems aren't actually problems. They're opportunities that are just still wrapped up in the wrapping paper. If you rip off the wrapping paper of the problem, you'll understand that that problem too was a gift. It wasn't the problem, it was an opportunity, because every adversity carries with it the seed of an equal or greater opportunity. So the bigger the adversity, the bigger the opportunity. So why we put the fun in dysfunction? Because it's really fun when we find dysfunction. Because that's the gift. Like, that's how we just found the gift. The dysfunction is when you find dysfunction is when you found the gift. It's one that's not been unwrapped yet. It's a present underneath the Christmas tree that has not yet been unwrapped. The rest of them are already been unwrapped, but this is a new one that has not been unwrapped. So it's not something to freak out about, like, oh no, this is a bad thing. People are going to find out I'm dysfunctional. No, it's really great. Like, I already know you're dysfunctional. It's not like it's not a big surprise that you're full of dysfunction. I already know that. So why are you trying to hide it? The reason that you're trying to hide it is because you're believing this one lie. And the lie is that I'm not good enough. That's the one lie that started all the dysfunction. So that's the seed that produced a tree that made all kinds of fruits of all this other stuff that's going on in your life. But it's that one lie that I'm not good enough. I'm not enough. But that's not true. You are enough. Everybody say, I am enough. I'm enough just as I am. I can never be more enough than I already am. And I can never be less enough than I already am. See, now that's the truth that you're going to uncover over these 2 days. You're saying the words right now, but most of you don't believe it. We're still trying to get somewhere. So our only problem, which is our opportunity, is that we believe that we're not enough, and then we're trying to figure out how to become enough. And as we do that, we create this fake self. It's a false identity. It's not us. Who you think that you are isn't actually you. It's this mask that you put on. You created this character because you thought that you weren't enough as a little child. Something happened where maybe your dad was mean to you, or your mom didn't talk to you, or something happened, and then you felt like, oh, I'm not loved. Which, if I'm not loved, that means I'm not enough. And in that moment, you said, well, I don't like to feel the pain of not being enough and not being loved, so I've got to figure out how to get love. And so that's when the shape shifting begins. That's when the domestication begins. That's when you leave the only thing that matters, your true self, and you start chasing approval. And you give up yourself, who you are. So you don't have to create yourself. God already did that. It's just time to remember who you were created to be. A watermelon seed has everything it needs to become the watermelon already inside of it, right out of the gates. Like, it doesn't have to learn how to be a watermelon. The orange seed has everything it needs to become the orange tree, to make more oranges. It's already in there. It didn't have to go to orange school to learn how to be an orange. I was reading the other day, and there was this back in the early part of the United States, there was these Native Americans, and I can't remember who it was, but somebody was trying to get them to go to this high. They were trying to take the younger children, the younger guys in the Native American, and to try to take them to the college, and say, hey, we're going to teach your children how to be people, how to be good people, or whatever. And so these Native Americans, like this, one of the wise elders, like, thought about it, and he was like, hey, we've actually sent some of our children to your school before, and when they came back, they were literally completely worthless. They didn't know how to hunt. They didn't know they couldn't even, like, if it got too cold outside, they're like shivering and like freaking out and dying. They're like these little pansies. Like they're like completely worthless. They can't do anything anymore. We can't send our people to your school. But if you would like to send some of your people, we would take care of your children and bring them to our school, and we'll show them actually how to, do something, how to be valuable on this planet. Because our educational system that we grew up in, it was created after the Industrial Revolution. And what happened after that is they needed more factory workers. And they said, all right, let's create an educational system that educates people into becoming factory workers. That's literally what happened. And it's not like a hidden thing. That's literally what it was created for. And everybody knows that. But it hasn't changed. So what did that mean to create factory workers? Well, what happens at a factory? They just want people like autonomous, like like automatic, just like like a cog in the machine, another brick in the wall. And so we got stamped out, and that's the domestication. We were domesticated into thinking that we have no value. See, in school, we were taught that the answers are more important than the question. We were taught that if you can regurgitate the answer exactly the way that you were told it, then you get A+. If you regurgitate it exactly, if you say it the same way that it was that you heard it, and you just spit it back out that same way, then you get an A+. You are grade A meat. But if you can't regurgitate and say the answer the way that you were told it, exactly the way that you were spoke, it was told to you, then you're F. You're a failure. So you better figure out how to fit in. You better figure out how to regurgitate. You better figure out how to be a robot, how to surrender your sovereignty, not think for yourself anymore, because that's exactly what the educational system did, is it taught you how to not think for yourself anymore, how to not be sovereign, and how to not be you. That's what it was for, to teach you how to not be you. To teach the watermelon seed how to not be a watermelon. So here at Earthwaking, we got a core message. Your only job for being alive is to be you. And the only way you could possibly fail is by trying to be something that you're not. And your difference is the only thing that can make a difference. See, we're all one, but we're not the same. Sameness and oneness are not the same. If all were ears, where would the sight be? If all were eyes, where would the hearing be? So it's very important that we understand who we are, and we understand why we are. And that's the purpose of Awaken Life Live, is for you to remember who you are, for you to remember why you are, not who you were taught to be and told to be so that you can get approval, so you can get a stamp of approval, but who you truly are. What sets you on fire? Like what lights you up? Say if you judge a turtle on his ability to fly, he's always a failure. Most people live their entire lives feeling like failures because they've been trying to do something that they were never even created to do. Most people are literally turtles trying to fly. That's what most people are doing. They're turtles trying to fly, and they feel worthless because they don't know how to fly. You're not supposed to know how to fly. You're supposed to be you. And it's time that we remember that. So we've come here together. This is no accident that you're here. Most of you have no idea why you're here, how you got here. It was just like something, just you saw a little video of me talking, or you saw something, you got an email, you don't even know how you got even on my email list. And you're just like, what's this? Final reminder. Let me click. Oh, what is this? Where am I at? You don't even know how you got here, but you felt called, because that was your true self calling you home. It's time to remember. It's time to remember. And so we're all here together for a reason, for a purpose. In one of the darkest times in history of humanity. I mean, it's getting wild out there. It's just getting crazier and crazier. Like every single day, there's a new headline. A new disease spreading across the planet, a new threat of nuclear war, all this stuff, like it just keeps hitting over and over and over, and people are getting more and more terrified. But that's actually a good thing, because remember, Every adversity carries with a seed of an equal or greater opportunity. See, that's actually a great thing. Why is it a great thing? Well, because nothing real can be threatened and nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. So what's there to be worried about? If nothing real can be threatened and nothing unreal exists, what's there to be worried about? Because the only thing that can be taken from you is something that isn't real. And if something not real is being taken from you, thank God. Because that was blocking you from experiencing what is real. See, if you're in a toxic relationship, you can never be with your soulmate. You're blocking. You're like, I don't want to let go of this relationship. It's destroying you, but you won't let it go. Why? Because we're creatures of habit. We have 65,000 thoughts a day. 95% of them were the same ones we had yesterday. So we're just doing the same thing over and over and over. Why we do the same thing over and over? Because that's how we learn how to create a comfort zone for ourselves. And it becomes very comfortable because we're in control of it. And so we're terrified of letting go of control. So we keep doing this stuff over and over and over, even though it's not serving us. Even though it's doing the exact opposite. It's not serving us. It's not serving our children. It's not serving our loved ones. It's not serving humanity. What doesn't serve your children and humanity is seeking approval. Seeking approval from your children will destroys your children. When you try to get your children to approve of you, seeking approval from your parents destroys you. Seeking approval from anyone, you're literally giving up the one thing that matters, your difference. Because you look around, who do you want me to be? Who do I need to be so that you'll like me? Well, the only reason people are running around like trying to need you to shape shift and fit into a mold so they'll like you is because they think that's what they're supposed to do. See, there's something that I know about every single one of you here. You might be like, John, you can't know something about every one of us here. There it is. There's something I absolutely know about every one of you. Here, I'm gonna stop my share so we can get a better look at each other here before I let you know what I know about you. So what I know about you, yes, you. I'm talking to you right there. What I know about you. You want to know? You want to know what I know about you? You probably don't even know this. Some of you might actually know this. Actually, if you've been here before, you probably already know this about you. Maybe half of you probably been here before, and you still don't know this about you. But I still know about you. You want to know what it is? Here's what I know about you. You love me. You do. You sure do. You love me. John, I don't even know you, John. I can't love you. Well, okay, I understand your theory. But plenty of people hate people they don't know. Why is it okay to hate people you don't know? But you're not allowed to love somebody you don't know? See, that's dysfunctional. Hey, yeah, we found some dysfunction. Hating people you don't know, but not loving people you don't know. Yay, that's dysfunction. And let's rip that sucker open. Wow, so that dysfunction, we just found a gift underneath the tree. The gift is, wait a minute. I have been hating people I didn't know, but I didn't allow myself to love people I don't know. That's a gift. I want to open that thing up. I want to see what's in there. And you know what's in there? First, we're going to have to go through the package. We're going to see, oh, wow, the reason that I hated people that I didn't know, but I didn't love people that I didn't know. Oh, wow. You know what the box is that's keeping me from experiencing the gift inside? Here's what it is. So some of you are saying, all right, John, are you telling me that once I get to know you better, because we just met. So are you saying that once I get to know you better, John, then I'm going to love you? Are you saying that the reason I don't love you yet is because I don't know you yet? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying there's only one reason why you wouldn't love me. Not because anything I did, not because anything I didn't do. The only reason you wouldn't love me, it's not because you don't know me. It's because you don't know who. Because you don't know you. Because once you know you, when you know the true you, guess how you're going to feel about the true you? You're going to love the true you. The true you is perfect, whole, and complete. The true you is enough. And that's the way you're going to feel about the true you. Wow, I really am enough. And as you feel that inside of your heart, guess what? When you open your eyes, what you're going to see? You're going to see enough everywhere. Because it appears without, though it is within. We don't see the world as it is. We see the world as we are. See, I know me, and I love me. A lot of people are like, John, you're so arrogant. I'm like, no, I just love me. I'm looking around at all you right now. Sorry, look at that. Sorry, Dawn. Is that how I say it? Sorry. All right, awesome. Sorry loves me. And you know what? She got her hand on her heart. Why she love me so much? Because she loves her. She can feel her heart right now. She feels the love for herself. And she's giving that love for herself, and it's just overflowing. See, I know me. And because I know me, guess who else I know? I know you. I might not know your fake self. I might not know who all the bullshit that you came up with to try to get approved of. I might not know all the patterns and tactics and manipulation tools and all the collections that you've gathered, but I know you. See, there's the collection, which is all the things that you thought that you were, because all the things that you did, all these moments in your life that you gathered up, and the meanings that you assigned to those moments. Okay, this means I'm bad, so I'm going to do this, and then I'll be good. This means I'm worthless, so I'll do this, and then so you created all these scenarios, all these situations, all these moments in the past, and the past is an illusion, by the way. And you're carrying around this big illusion and all the meanings that you assigned to the big illusion, and you're bringing it into this present moment, and you have no, you don't even experience this moment because you're still living inside the past. But then what do? Once we look at all the problems of the past and we assign the meaning to those moments, like, oh my gosh, I knew I'm not enough, because look at that. Look at all the stuff that I've done. Look at all the stuff that I thought. Look at all the way people have treated me. I've got to figure out how to fix this. So we use the past to create an identity for ourselves. And we see everything that's wrong with that identity. But we're like, wait a minute, but it's okay because I have the future. And I can fix it in the future. So we use the future for salvation. But the past is illusion. The future is a figment of your imagination. It's only here. It's only now. All of eternity is in this moment. But you're missing eternity because you're missing this moment, because you're torn between the past and the future, which don't even exist. You're torn between what's wrong with the past and what you think you can do to fix it in the future. If you would just let all that go and just be here now, the true you will emerge. And when it does, you'll feel love, because guess what the true you is? The true you is the only thing that exists, love. So you will feel your heart overflowing with love, and it just starts to pour out around you. You just fill the world with love, because that's all exists within you. Seek first the kingdom, and all else will be added to you. Most people are still running around as consumers thinking, I got to get more. And once I consume enough, then finally the void will be filled. The void's never going to be filled like that, because that's like taking a drug. Anytime you're trying to get your happiness from the outside in, that's the same as trying to get a drug to make you happy. And what happens when you take a drug? You feel good for a moment, some pleasure for a moment, and then it wears off. And then what happens? I got to get another hit. I got to consume something else. And you try the same hit that you took the time before, and then what happens? It didn't do the same as it did the last time. So I got to get a bigger hit. And it just keeps going and going. And you turn into this black hole, when the entire time you were a supernova. But you just forgot. We were created to create in the likeness and image of God. We got the full power of God and we turned it against ourselves. It's time to wake up. That's the purpose of Awaken Life Live. So you showed up here. We're all lighthouses, but we're running around in the darkness. It's like so dark everywhere, but you're the lighthouse. But the reason that there's no light shining in your world is because people have been throwing mud and shit at you your whole life. And your lighthouse is caked with mud and shit. And no light is getting out. So people are like, what am I going to get if I go to Awaken Life Live? What do I get from Awaken Life Live? What do I get from this event? You don't get anything from this event. We're not here to give you anything. What we do at this event is we cleanse your lens. We just start removing the mud. We start removing the shit. And guess what happens and how do we do it? You get triggered. You get upset. You're like, damn it, did you just say that to me? Don't you call me a whiny bitch. Well, if the shoe fits. But that's not the true you. That's your package. That's the container. So we crack that container open. But first we got to identify it. How do I know what your container is? Well, if I say you're a whiny bitch and you get triggered, that means that's what you've been hiding inside of and trying to pretend like you're not. So we can crack that thing open. All right, that's fun. We found it. Now we can rip that sucker open and see what's inside. So there's actually no whiny bitches here. There's not a single whiny bitch that exists, because the only thing that exists is what? Love. But we believe ourselves to be this. And then we run around the rest of our lives trying to not be it. And then somebody calls us on the thing that we've been trying to not be our whole life. And they're like, don't you call me that. See, if I say I hate your pink polka dotted socks, and you're not wearing pink polka dotted socks, then what are you going to say? Whenever I say, I hate your pink polka dotted socks, you're going to look at me and be like, damn, John, I don't know if you've noticed, but I don't have pink polka dotted socks on. You're not going to get upset. You're not going to get offended. The only way you would get offended is if you were either wearing pink polka dotted socks or thought you were wearing them, or one of your loved ones wore pink polka dotted socks. And you judged the pink polka dotted socks. So you're wearing them and you're judging them, or you're maybe your loved one's wearing them and you're judging their pink polka. But the only thing that offends you is your judgment. That's the only thing that can offend you. My judgment can't offend you. My judgment can reveal your judgment, but my judgment cannot offend you. Your judgment cannot offend me. Your judgment can reveal my judgment on myself, but it can't offend me. So nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. Why is that the peace of God? Because once we find the thing that can be offended, we found what can be threatened. And once we found what can be threatened, we found what doesn't exist that's keeping us from the truth of what does. We found the mud. We found the shit. And then we let it go. Most of you are emotionally constipated. You've been packing and stacking your whole life. Something happens, a circumstance happens that you don't like. That hurts, and you just shove it down. Because what you actually shove down is the meaning that you assign to the moment, the meaning that what you made that moment mean about you. When my spouse cheated on me, it hurt so bad because you thought it meant that you weren't lovable. And you did not want to feel what it felt like to be not lovable. So you blamed them, said, they're worthless. They're not lovable. It's not me that's not lovable. It's them that's not lovable. And so you shoved it down. And rather than just feeling the feeling fully and just letting it pass through, you shoved it down. And now you got that emotion, that energy and motions trapped in your body. And it's wreaking havoc on you. It's wreaking havoc within, and it's wreaking havoc without. Hurt people, but healed people, heal people. So you've been packing and stacking, you've been shoving it down. So I love you too much to not offend you. And now that's completely backwards from what we've been taught out there through our domestication process. because we went to consumer education. See, this is creator education. You're all creators. Everybody say, I'm a creator. I was created in the likeness and image of God. So guess what? You've come to creator school. It's kind of like Harry Potter. They go to the magician school. You've showed up to creator school. You're a creator. You're a child of God. Everybody say, I'm a child of God. So you're a little godchildren school. Well, this is more like now this is probably, I guess this is like middle school. Awaken Life Live will kind of be like middle school for little godchildren that are learning how to use their creator power. Woo, woo, because see, before it's like little children picking up guns and like blasting up, like they don't know what to do with them. Like they're hurting themselves with guns. You don't want to give a machine gun to a little children, but you've been given the power to create worlds. You're a little child that's been given the power to create worlds. That's crazy. So we need to learn how to use that power so we don't destroy ourselves with it. And so you're like, Awaken Life Live is like middle school for creator. Now, most of I don't know where kindergarten is. I don't know where elementary school is because I've never seen it out there. But this is like middle school. So you've made it to middle school here, and you're going to feel a little awkward in middle school. Like, oh, that's when you're coming of age. You're like, what is this? What's this? What's going on in my chest? Like, girls are like, what's happening in my chest right now? What's going on? Wait, something just came out of me. Why am I bleeding right now? Oh, wow. It's like all this weird stuff starts showing up in your reality. So that's where you are, right? Because you're coming of age. It's time to actually, be an adult. And so this is creator education, where you're learning how to use your creator power. So I was going down a trail, and then we went down to creator education. I don't know what that trail was, but well, let's see if it comes back around. Where's the trail? We were going over here. Creator education. Let's go back to, I know earlier we had nothing real can be threatened, nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. So we were talking about I love you too much to not offend you. So we'll offend you here because what the offense is, it's only offending what's not real. It's not you, it's who you thought that you were. The only thing that I can offend is the packaging. And now that we've offended the package, see, you thought you were the package. See, we're dropped off here like shipping containers, and most people think that they're the container. And your container's getting all, spray painted, it's getting, all rusty and getting all dirty. You're like, oh man, people aren't gonna love me anymore because I'm all rusty and dirty. But see, you're not the container. You're the package. Inside, you're the gift. So your container you need to open it up and need to come out of it. So your container is the identity that you created around the belief that I'm not enough. So this belief that I'm not enough created a perceived separation between you and love. Love's over there and you're over here. I'm not enough means I'm not, because I'm not enough. What is it? I'm not enough for what? I'm not enough for love. I'm not worthy of love. So that means I'm over here and love's over there. And so it created this perceived separation. Now, love is infinite connection. Love is all there is. So we all are love. We're all members of love. So we've come here for these 2 days to remember love. You're a member of love. I'm a member of love. And we are remembering love. We are remembering love. We are remembering love. We are remembering. Everybody say, we are remembering. So we're remembering love. And I lost it again. Where is I? Where are my trails? Why am I losing my trails today? This is a good sign. This is a good sign. Why is it a good sign? Because every adversity carries with it seed of an equal or greater opportunity. So something weird happened last night. So for some reason, before Awaken Life Live, I usually create something in my physical experience that keeps me up late, like some weird shit going on. So it happened last night. Usually I'll use my wife to do it. Usually I'll have her, like something happened with her, but this time it was my mom. Like, she comes banging on my door in the middle of the night. She's like shining lights in the thing and in the windows, and I'm like, what's happening right now? Where am I? And our dog just got spayed yesterday, and all of a sudden, so she came over and she's like, the dog Pearl is bleeding out. She's bleeding out. I'm like, oh, what? And I'm like trying to come to. I'm like, where am I at? What's like, the dog's bleeding out, bleeding. I'm like, so we go over there, and she like, I guess her suture had come open and it was like pouring out some blood, but we were able to put it back together so we could contain the blood, and then we were able to take the dog back to the doctor this morning. But I was like smooth sailing last night. I got to go to sleep early and everything. I'm like, I'm like, wow, this is really great. Like it's rare that I get a full night's sleep before Awaken Life Live, but tonight I got one. But no, right in the freaking middle of the night, bam. And so but it always shows me that it's going to be a really incredible Awaken Life Live coming up, because every adversity carries with the seed of an equal or greater opportunity. So what happens in this world is that we're heading we're heading to a destination, right? So but it's like we're heading, there's pit stops along the way. We're going to stop here and then stop there and stop there. So as we're heading that way, see, the truth is we're all in heaven right now. That's where we are. We're all like in eternity right now, but we've fallen under this illusion that we're this little limited perspective, this little bit limited identity where love's over there and I'm over here, and I got to figure out how to get back to love. Love's not over there and you're over here. You're not separate from love. So we're remembering love. We're remembering that we already are one with love. I and love are one. Let's all say that. I and love are one. So, but on this journey, on these little stops that we make along the way, but from separate from love to one with love, the only thing that's happening is all of our bullshit is coming to the surface, and then we're letting it go. Or your bullshit comes to the surface and then you shove it back down. You pack and stack it. So those are your only two options. So you're heading back home to the place that you never left. We all are. We're heading back. We never left love. So we're heading back. But the only reason we perceive ourselves to not be in love right now is because of this belief that I'm not enough. So we're trying to figure out how to become enough. So in this journey, see, we can't get to the next step because we can't solve the problem at the level of consciousness that created it. We can't get the one step closer to love until we let go of all the bullshit and the lies inside of ourselves that are keeping us from perceiving how close we already are. So it's only our perception that's keeping us. Our perception is keeping us from the experience of the oneness with love. So what's going to come up whenever you start moving towards love, all of a sudden, everything that's going to come up, it's going to be all of your fears. It's going to be all of your lies. It's going to be all the stuff. Now it's going to show up on the outside, like the dog bleeding out, right? Your mom banging on the window at the middle of the night, like all the problems show up. But those are just physical manifestations of metaphysical cause, of something that's happening inside of yourself. So whenever the big stuff starts happening like that, I'm like, wow, okay, I'm heading to the next level. I'm letting go of control a little bit more. I'm letting go a little bit. Now, most people don't let control a little bit more. Most people, when the circumstances they don't like shows up, what do? They fight, they resist, rather than letting go. Rather than surrender, they fight and they resist and they try to force it. And guess what? That's shoving it down. That's packing and stacking. I don't want to feel out of control. So I'm going to figure out how to fix it. I'm going to figure out how to force it. And they pack and stack. So most of you are emotionally constipated. Now imagine if you were, spend your entire life needing to take a shit but never letting it come out. Oh, I don't want it to come out, because if it comes out, people are going to smell it. I don't want them to smell that coming out of me. There's people around. I don't want them to smell this shit. And they might hear it. If I go around the corner, they still might hear it. I need to go way off here, the distance where nobody's going to smell it or hear it. That's the way you are with your emotions. I don't want anybody to smell because you're judging it. You're judging your shit. And that's why we put the fun in dysfunction, so you can release the judgment on the shit, because it's nothing to judge. You know why it's nothing to judge? Because it's not even real. Love is the only thing that's real. And so you've fallen under this illusion. You've made something that isn't even real more real than real, and you're living inside of a lie. So the purpose of Awaken Life Live is to let go of the lie. The truth will set you free. Who's ready to be free? Say I. All right. Well, you know what it's going to take? You got to die. So you've showed up here to die. That's what day one. And then guess what happens on day two? After you die, what can you do? Resurrect. So day one is death day. Who's ready to die? You guys ready to die? Y'all ready to do this? Let's let this just let go. Let's just surrender. Let's all die. Now, what's actually dying? The only thing that is dying is the identity that was never you in the first place. You can't die because nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. It's great to understand that you can't die. Only your identity can. Your body can die, but you're not that body. You have a body. See, we're not human beings that have a spiritual experience. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. And the awakening is when you remember that. It's okay to have a life. Don't let a life have you. It's okay to have a body. Don't let a body have you. So what happens at Awaken Life Live in the death and then the resurrection, how it happens is we start to notice the space between the collection and the collector. So you've collected all this stuff, all this crap of what you think that you are, this identity, all your stuff. A lot of people think that they are they maybe got some awards. They're like, oh, look at all my trophies over there. That's me. I'm the one that won all the trophies. And so they've collected all the trophies because they think that's what makes them worthy. They're collecting I got a big, nice house. I got a big, nice car. And they've got all these collections and they think those collections are what make them who they are. So what happens in Awaken Life is you start to experience the separation between the collection and the collector, because one day that house is going to be gone. That spouse is going to be gone. That car is going to be gone. That business is going to be gone. One day it will happen. Whether in this physical life, it just, a hurricane comes and wipes it out, or it's after this life is over for you. But one day you can rest assured that it will be gone. So understanding that, you can realize that that must not be me, because I'm still going to go on long after that's gone. You were in a relationship when you were in high school. You thought that relationship was everything. You thought that's what made you who you were. But guess what? It fell apart, but you still remain. So we start to notice the space between the collection and the collector. You're not the collection. You're not the things. You're not the body. You're the collector. And so the entire collection can get set on fire. But what happens to the collector? It still remains. And then what can the collector do? Go make another collection. You can make infinite collections. Everybody say, I'm the collector, not the collection. So the death is actually experiencing that it's because it feels like death to you, because that identity, that collection, you thought it was you. And whenever it's like you're getting ripped out of the body, like, oh, it's like this exorcism kind of thing. Whoa, what? Oh. And then you start to starting to float. And you're like, wow, this is really peaceful out here. And then all of a sudden you'll find yourself sucked back in the collection. You're like, oh, wow, it's really stressful in here. And then you pop back out. And you're like, oh, okay, it's peaceful out here. Because you're getting to higher perspective. You're seeing it from outside the picture. You can't see the picture when you're inside of it. But so Awaken Life is coming outside of the picture so we can see what it actually is. We can see the whole playing out. And you're like, oh, okay. And then you can go back in and enjoy it. So it's the death and then the resurrection. Day 1 is death day. Day 2 is resurrection day. So you guys excited? Who's excited about this? We're all just laying down the foundation right now. Let me go ahead and open my share back up. And we got to, that was 45 minutes there. So I'm going to run through. We got some really great stuff that help you to really identify exactly. So you can have tools, you can have ways to allow your mind to just relax, because most of us are trapped inside of our mind. So we're going to give our mind some little sedatives kind of way, some things that it can, oh, okay, I can relax now because I can see it. So it can see what the awakening is. And once it really understands it all, then it can just sit back and it'll let your true self come out. So that's what I'm going to show you is some ways to come at it, to see it. So you can just relax and allow it to just happen. So, all right. So who here feels like you're going through some sort of transition in your life? Raise your hand if you feel like you're going through some sort of transition in your life. Oh, wow. That looks like pretty much everyone. That's really strange. Why did everyone raise their hand? They're going through some transition. Well, because the entire world is going through a transition right now. Humanity is on an 18-inch journey from the head to the heart. From the mind, through the emotions to the heart, from slavery to freedom, from Egypt to the promised land. But we got to cross the River Jordan. But most people are terrified to cross the river because you don't have control in the river. What's the river? The emotions. Most people will not allow themselves to feel their emotions. Why? Because they're judging. The reason because they're negative emotions. The negative emotions are coming from the judgment because they've assigned a meaning to themselves. Because this moment happened, this means I'm not enough, and I don't want anybody to know that I'm not enough. So if that emotion comes out, then they're going to know that I'm not enough. So I don't want them to hear that. I don't want them to smell that. So you've been emotionally constipated. You're full of shit. So what we're going to do here in these 2 days is to love the shit out of you. Just love. That's it. We're going to love the shit out of each other. And then it's gone. And suddenly we're free. So everybody say, I got to feel it to heal it. A lot of people do what they call the spiritual bypassing, which is everything's okay, everything's great, everything's great. You're saying that, but you're lying to yourself. You don't believe it. You can't get there by lying to yourself. You get there by telling yourself the truth, that it truly is okay. Not by putting lipstick on the pig, but by let's dig in. Let's go deeper. Let's go within. The only way out is in. So let's go in. Let's not go out and say, and look at the world out there and say, look, everything's okay out there, so I can be okay. No, it's not okay out there. The world's like literally like World War III, man, like some crazy shit. It's like crumbling. And then, so wow, my whole world out there is crumbling. This is terrifying. I don't have nothing to stand on no more. My hyperinflation going through the roof. There's famine, global famine. It's crazy. I mean, the head of UK the other day is like apocalyptic famine coming. It's crazy shit out there. So what are you going to use it for is the question. Because you're a powerful creator. Everybody say, I'm a powerful creator. And so how you take your creator power back, you're not actually taking it back. You're just remembering it. How you remember your creator power is by taking complete responsibility for everything. So when the world's crumbling down, our entire world as we knew it, it's the end of the world as we know it. And I feel fine. I truly feel fine. It's not an act. I'm not just like pretending to be happy about the whole world collapsing. I'm truly, because I see most people are trying to understand it all, but this is not the time for understanding. This is time for understanding. And see, once you have an understanding, remember, seek first the kingdom. And where's the kingdom? The kingdom is within you. When you've got an understanding, when you're sitting inside of the kingdom, you're good to go. If love is for me, who can be against me? Well, love is for you because you are love. Unless love is against you because you don't perceive yourself to be love. Like you're love and you get to decide, are you for you or are you against you? You get to decide. And whatever you decide is what you're going to experience because you got the full power of God. So the world is falling to pieces. So the question is, what are you going to use it for? I used it to go in, to find out every judgment I had, every fear that I had. I'm like, oh gosh, I'm not safe because I don't have this. I'm not safe because I don't have that. I don't have any security. Oh my gosh, I'm losing my loved ones. I'm losing all, wow. And I get all terrified. And then I'm like, oh wait, this is exciting. I'm terrified right now. Let me find out why I'm terrified. The only reason I can be terrified is because I'm judging something, because I believe that there's something other than love that exists. I've put conditions upon love, and I understand what's actually happening is my conditions I placed on love are what's falling apart. And now that the conditions that I placed on love are falling apart, guess what? I can actually find true love because it's not out there, it's in here. And once I find it in here, then I'll see it everywhere out there. No matter what the circumstances are, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is how I feel on the inside, and how I feel on the inside will matter. It's going to become physical manifest because that's how our creator power works. So what are you going to use it for? The collapse of the dollar, the entire monetary system is falling to pieces. Food supplies, the supply chains are getting demolished. There's according to Klaus Schwab, there's massive cyber attacks coming that are going to shut down the travel, shut down the power grid, shut down the internet, shut down everything. And now this is the dude that like tells everything that's going to happen and then it happens. So what are you going to use that for? I'm using it to wake up. A lot of people are using it to go further asleep, to get more afraid that they're going to lose something that was never even real in the first place, and they go further into the illusion. Because if you're afraid, and then you act from your fear. See, faith without works is dead. But what most people miss is fear without works is dead. They miss that. They get afraid and then they go try to fix the problem from their fear. You saw what happened out there when the pandemic hit. People were terrified of all this crazy thing and they started acting from fear. Guess what? They made it worse. Every time you act from fear, you make it worse, right? It's not actually worse because sometimes we fall into heaven through the floor of hell. Who knows what I'm talking about? Who knows? Who's ever experienced where it had to get so bad? It was like, it got darker and darker and worse and worse and worse until there was like nothing left. And then you popped out on the other side. Like, whoo! You know what happened is it finally got bad enough for you to finally say, I give up, I surrender. Fuck, thank you. That's all it ever took in the first place, was for you to surrender. Because the only thing you're in control of is your suffering. And if you would just relax and let go, guess what you're letting go of? Your suffering. And as you let go of your suffering, guess what can actually enter into your hand? Love. So humanity is on the 18-inch journey from the head to the heart, from the mind through the emotions to the heart. All of humanity is doing that journey. But you either do it by chance or you by choice. You face it within or you face it without. Either way, you're going to face it. So who here is ready to fully awaken to their highest and best life this weekend and have fun doing it? Say I. Okay, then you're going to need to do it by choice. You're going to need to choose this fully. Go all in. Put your whole heart into it. Put your whole soul into it. Because you get back what you put in. Everybody say, I get back what I put in. And I want to know the true me. So I'm going to give my entire heart and soul to this weekend. And as I put my entire heart and soul into this weekend, I'm going to know the true me. See, people come here, some people are going to get a $10,000 Awaken Life Live this week. Now, you didn't pay anything to be here. It didn't cost you anything in money, which money is nothing in the first place. And everybody's going to be realizing that very soon. As the great reset happens in this year, people are going to realize, oh, wow, that was actually, it's going to be exposed as the worthlessness that it's been. Everybody's going to see how worthless it really is. So you didn't have to pay any of that worthless stuff to get here. So what's the cost? It doesn't cost you anything. But the question is, what are you going to get from this event? Some people are going to get a $10,000 event. Some people are going to get $1 million event. Some people are going to get a priceless event that you can't put a monetary price on it because it actually has value. It's worth your life, and not just your life, it's worth your purpose. And guess what happens when you know your purpose? It's not just your life, but it's many other lives as well. It's your children's lives. It's your family's lives. It's humanity's life is on the line right here. But their true life, who they truly are, their eternity is on the line right here. Are they going to get to experience heaven, or are they going to have to go through hell? And you get to decide this. We've all come here together for this moment in time when the world needs you now. The world needs you to wake up because, see, I'm an earth waker. What is an earth waker? An earth waker is someone who wakes the world up. How does someone wake the world up? Well, I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to make a change. And so as I wake myself up, now I become a light in the darkness. Now I've become the change. And everywhere I go, awakening occurs because I am awakening. And so that's what you've showed up here for, is to awaken yourself. You're not here to awaken the world. You're here to awaken yourself. And as a side effect of you awakening yourself, what's going to happen is you go out there in the world, you're going to wake it up too. You're going to be a light in the darkness because all the mud and shit has been removed. So you're shining brightly. You shine bright like a diamond. You'll be shining so bright because you've let go of all the lies and illusions that you're small and worthless, that you're not enough. And as you've let that go, guess what? You give other people permission to let go of theirs too. Their judgment, their shit, their guilt, their shame. It all falls off. When it falls off of you, then it can fall off of the rest of us because we're all one. So who here is ready to be an earthwaker? Say I. Who's ready to wake this world up? Say I. Well, it starts with yourself. And it starts with you giving everything that you got. See, how we do anything is how we do everything. And if you show up here at this event and you don't put your heart and soul into this, when this thing is literally, all these people have come together, it's literally designed for your heart to wake up. It's literally designed for you to get to have fun, for you get to just express yourself freely, where you don't have to worry about people smelling your shit. You can just, wow, you know, we see it coming out and we smell it and it's great and everybody's going to celebrate. So you can actually be free to finally let it go. And if you won't let it go here, what do you think your chances are out there where you get shamed and blamed? Because the other people out there, they're still judging their shit. So if they're judging their shit, guess whose else shit they're going to judge? Yours. So if you can't let it go out here where nobody's judging it, what do you think your chance of is going out there if you letting it go? When everybody's going, you're disgusting, man. You're not going to do it. So this is your chance to give it everything that you've got. Now, we're doing this live right now, but we're recording it. Some people are going to be watching the recording of this 10 years from now. Who knows, 100 years from now? Some people might watch this exact recording right now. And you might not even know if you're here live or if you're watching the recording, because it is live. Regardless, it's live because you're the one that's choosing what are you going to use it for. You get to decide what you're using this event for, what this moment for. I cannot decide for you. Kurt cannot decide for you. Only you can decide for you what you're going to get out of this event, whether it's a recording or whether it's live. But if you're here live or you're here recorded, act as if it's everything. Like if you're here, like, again, you don't know which one you are. Some people are watching this. Maybe you're watching on our app. Now, if you're here live, you're like, oh, well, I must be here live because, you know, I'm not on an app. But some of you are sitting on the app. You might be sitting on the app right now watching this. And it might be actually live while we're on the app. You don't even know. But the question is, what are you going to use it for? And what are you going to get from it? And it's going to be what you put into it. Some people are going to put nothing into it and they won't get anything back. But you get to decide right here, right now, what you're going to do. Are you going to use this to wake up completely? How you do that is you put your whole heart in. You find the gold in every single dysfunction. You're like, okay, that's me. I'm going to find that in me. I'm going to go within. I'm going to find that guy got triggered. That if I'm here seeing that guy got triggered, then there must be something in me, or I wouldn't seen it in my world if it wasn't somewhere in me. Maybe it's not like as big as that dude's, but there's still some in me, or wouldn't show up there. And I'm going to find it and I'm going to let it go. So if you're here live, millions of people could watch this recording. Millions of people's lives could be transformed. So give it everything that you got. Have you ever listened to a recording of an album that was a live album and you can hear the people cheering, you can hear the energy of it? And it like, wow, it's better than the recorded one from the studio because you're like, wow, you can just feel it. So if you're here live, bring the heat. Be that audience that brings all the energy that's going to carry on into the future. So give it everything that you got here for you, because these 2 days, you get back what you put in. If you give it all the energy, you give everything that you got, then you're going to get it back. But don't just give the energy just if it's only for you. Go 1,000x, 1,000 times what you would do for you, because see, we'll do more for other people than we'll do for ourselves. So 1,000x it. What you would have done for yourself here to, okay, I'm gonna wake up for me. 1,000x it, 1,000,000x it. Because there's billions of people that could get their lives transformed because of what you do here right now. You make a difference. You matter. Everybody say, I make a difference. Everybody say, I matter. All right, so who's ready to wake up and have fun doing it? Say I. All right, you get back what you put in. Who's ready to put their whole entire heart and soul into this? Say I. All right, so what we're going to do, you didn't pay anything to be here with, you didn't pay any money, but now it's time to pay with your energy. Who's ready to pay with your energy? Say I. Who's ready to put your emotion, your energy into motion so we can transform this world? We can wake this world up right here, right now, the rest of eternity. It's all here right now in this moment. This is our chance. Don't miss your shot. This is your shot. Everybody say, this is my shot. And we're not going to waste this moment. All right. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to have a dance party. What do you mean we're going to have a dance party? Yes, we're going to turn our cameras on. Now, I know a lot of y'all got y'all's cameras turned off. And some of you got your cameras turned off because you got a dirty room in the back. You're like, I don't want nobody to see my dirty room. Well, guess what? It's not a dirty room isn't necessarily even dysfunctional. If your dirty room functions for you, then it's actually functional. It's not dysfunctional. You're fine. It's just the only thing that's dysfunctional is you're judging your dirty room. Some of you got a dirty face right now. You're like, I didn't clean up. Oh my gosh. Well, is your dirty face dysfunctional? I don't know. It's only dysfunctional if you judge it. You can show up with a dirty face and you can own that thing. And you can be fully functional with a dirty face, with an ugly face. Is it really ugly? Maybe it's not really ugly. Maybe you just called it ugly because somebody else called it ugly, or somebody else thought they were ugly and you compared yourself to them. It's not ugly. I've seen some trees out there that are completely just imagine if your face looked like a tree. You had like one ear out here, one down there, your nose is all like up back there. We don't call the trees ugly. You're not ugly. So it's time to let yourself be seen. It's time to drop the fig leaf. It's time to be real. For once in your life, be real. Y'all ready for this? All right, get those cameras on. Get up out of your seats. Let's start to wiggle your little butt around, or your big butt. You might have a big butt. You might have a little butt. I don't know which one you got. Well, we all have relatively small butts. Somebody's got a bigger butt than you somewhere. So you get to say, I'm gonna wiggle my relatively small booty. All right. So just start wiggling it out, getting that energy in motion. Again, we're doing this. Don't just give it all you got for you. This is for all the people on the planet. This whole, literally, give it all you got, like the fate of humanity depends upon it, because it does. This matters. Everybody say this moment matters. All right. Everybody say, I'm an earth waker. I'm about to wake this world up. All right, here we go. Give it all you got. Give it everything that you got. Don't hold anything back. Put your heart and soul into it. Here we go.
Hey. Good to see you. Come on in, let's go. Yeah! Let's go! Return to the Mac, get up what it is, what it does, what it is, what it isn't. Looking for a better way to get up out of bed instead of getting on the internet and checking a new hit. Me get up, first shot, come strut walking. A little bit of humble, a little bit of cautious. Somewhere between like Rocky and Cosby's for the game. Nope, y'all can't copy yet. Bad moonwalking, and this here is our party. My posse's been on Broadway, and we did it all way. Chrome music, I shed my skin and put my bones into everything I record to it. And yeah, I'm on. Let that stage light go and shine on down. Got that Bob Barker suit game and Plinko in my style. Money, stay on my craft and stick around for those pounds. But I do that to pass the torch and put on for my town. Trust me, on my INDEPENDENT shit hustling. Chasing dreams since I was 14 with the 4-track bustin'. Halfway across that city with the back question. Labels out here, now they can't tell me nothing. We give that to the people, spread it across the country. Labels out here, now they can't tell me nothing. We give it to the people, spread it across the country.
Here we go back, this is the moment. Tonight is the night, we'll fight till it's over. So we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. Here we go back, this is the moment. Tonight is the night, we'll fight till it's over. So we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us.
Nah, can I kick it? Thank you, yeah, I'm so damn grateful. I grew up really wanna go fronts, but that's what you get when Wu-Tang raised you. Y'all can't stop me, go hard like I got an 808 in my heartbeat. And I'm eating at the beat like it gave a little speed to a great white shark on Shark Week. Wow, time to go off, gone, deuces goodbye. I got a world to see, and my girl, she wanna see Rome. Caesar make you a believer, nah, I never ever did it for a throne. That validation comes from giving it back to the people. Now, sing this song and it goes like, raise those hands, this is our party. We came here to live life like nobody was watching. I got my city right behind me. If I fall, they got me. Learn from that failure, gain humility, and then we keep marching.
And we go back, this is the moment. Tonight is the night, we'll fight till it's over.
Great job, everybody. Who had fun? Say aye. Woo! Who laid it all on the line? Say aye. Prove it. Let me see the sweat. Let me see your armpits. I want to see some sweaty armpits. If you don't know sweaty armpits, you're lying to me. Woo! Dang. Daggum. Oh, look, Boris. Hey, brother. How you doing, buddy? Boris laid it all on the line. All right. So power plant doesn't have energy. A power plant generates energy. Everybody say I'm a power plant. I'm not a consumer. I'm a creator. All right. Everybody say, I didn't come here to consume the greatest event on the planet. Everybody say, I came here to create the greatest event on the planet. Thank you, everybody. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Great job. We just laid down the foundation right there for the whole planet. The whole world might, but millions of people might get to see what you just did there. Or you might be one of the people that are watching a recording of this that got to feel the experience of the heat that everybody brought here. And because of the heat that everybody brought here, you brought it too. See, we're all one. We had you in mind. If you're watching the recording, we had you in mind. So you're here with us now. Time is an illusion. So you're here with us now, and we're here. We're there with you right now. No matter where you are, no matter how dark it is in the moment that you're at, we got you in our mind, in our hearts. The light that's in us, we're giving it to you. And no matter where you are, the light that you got in your heart, you're giving it to us. We feel the light in your heart right now. We're all one, and we are remembering. Everybody say, we are remembering. All right. So here we go. I'm going to walk through some stuff here. So we're talking about the 3 U's. Everybody say the 3 U's. Dang, I laid it all on the line there. I'm still catching my breath. So the 3 U's. The first U is called the ideal self. Everybody say ideal self. So the ideal self is your mask. It's the identity that you created and you show to the world because you think this is who people would love. Some of you's ideal self is to be the smart one. Some of you's to be the pretty one. Some of you's ideal self is to be the dumb one or the sick one. See, the ideal self is all about significance. All about trying to be significance, the most of something. So go ahead and start to look in, what is your ideal self? What is it that you think that you got to be the best at or the most of at? Whether it's the smartest, prettiest, or the stupidest. Literally, some people, that's their ideal self because that's what they learned. You know, they learned if I shine too bright, then I'll get a beat down from my parents. So I just need to, they won't kick me while I'm down. So the only way I'll get attention is if I'm suffering, if I'm struggling. See, some people decided that they couldn't get good attention. When they did good stuff, they didn't really get any attention. But when they did bad stuff, then they got some attention. They said negative attention is better than no attention. So their ideal self was to get bad attention. So to be the meanest. So what is your ist? That's your ideal self. What is it that you think that you have to do in order to get significance or attention? And be honest with yourself. So underneath that, see, that's not actually you. That's part of the collection. Both the first 2 are part of the collection, not the collector. The third one is actually the collector. So we're going to make that journey to the collector. So your ideal self, that exists in your mind. But underneath that, when you drop beneath the mind, you go from the mind, you let go of your ideal self. You don't need to look good anymore. You don't need to, have it all together. You don't need approval anymore. That's when you're going to drop into your emotions, which is your real self. Everybody say real self. Thank you. So your real self is your vulnerability. This is what you really feel like under the fake smile. This is what you're afraid people might find out about you. The reason that you're running around wearing a fake smile is because you don't want people to know you don't got it all together, because you think if they know that you don't have it all together, then they're going to think that you're not worthy. The only reason that you're thinking they think that you're not worthy because you don't have it all together is because you think that you're not worthy for not having it all together. You made that up. And so that's what you really feel like. So when you drop off the mask and instead of going, yeah, that's great. It's like, come on, man, you're full of shit. You're lying to yourself. Let's just drop that off. What's really going on underneath there? And then you're like, well, I just don't feel like I'm enough. I just don't feel like I'm too old. I feel like I'm too fat. I feel like I'm too stupid. What is it that what's underneath that? Why are you trying so hard? So most people are trying so hard because they're running away from what they really feel. They don't want to feel the way they really feel, so they get stuck in their mind. A lot of people are like, their mind is just going nuts. Like they can't sit still. They don't want to go meditate or something like that because their mind like, whoa, and it's like screaming. As long as they keep themselves busy, then they might not hear the how loud it's screaming. So they're always trying to entertain themselves to death or numb themselves. They're eating a whole lot of food and like get all big and fat because they've been trying to numb out their feelings. They're trying to shove their emotions down so they can stay in their mind. So some people are numbing it out with sex. Some people are numbing it out with drugs. Some people are not, whatever it is, but it's because the mind is going crazy because you don't want to feel the emotions of what you really think about yourself. Some people numb it out by working their ass off, working 17 hours a day. How is it that you're numbing it out? How is it that what are you doing to keep yourself from feeling the way that you truly feel? So once you allow yourself to feel it, remember, you got to feel it to heal it. Everybody say, I got to feel it to heal it. And I'm big enough to feel my feelings. I got a little song that I made for my son, Soul. He used to like if he didn't get the booby, right, he liked to drink that booby milk. And if he couldn't get the booby, he'd be stressed out like, I can't go. He couldn't go to sleep without the booby. So one day it was time, he needed to go to sleep without the booby. Like, it's just, you need to learn to go to sleep without the booby. Without just freaking out. And so I laid him down and be like, no, mama, you stay in there. I'm gonna lay him down and I start patting him on the back and he's like, like scream. I call it demon screaming. He was like, like, damn, dude. And just later on, like, it's all right. And then I just stayed in complete peace. Like, he's going crazy. He's got chaos, but I'm in complete peace. So he actually felt okay being in chaos. They're like, hey, it's okay to let the feelings happen. I'm like, I'm not shaming his feelings. It's like, yeah, just let him rip. Let it rip. And I'm like, it's okay. I'm just patting him on the back. And then I started to sing a song. Y'all want to hear the song that I sang for him? And it put him to sleep. He fell asleep. Y'all want to hear it? So I'll sing it for him, but start to think about yours. So his was the booby. He needed the booby to go to sleep. What is it that you need to go to sleep? Maybe you got to have a bunch of food. Maybe you got to have a cigarette. Maybe you got to have some sort of drug. Maybe the booby is yours. Maybe that's what you're gonna do. I can't go to sleep without the booby, right? Whatever the thing is, whatever your thing is that you think that you need, so you can actually, I could just relax now. Finally, I can just relax. So you can add that into the song. So wherever I say booby, you put in whatever your thing is. So I'll sing it a few times as you can go along with it. So here we go. So I was patting my back and I said, I love to go to sleep without the booby. It helps me feel my feelings, feeling fully. I love to feel my feelings because it sets me free. So I can have my feelings and they don't have me. All right, so let's sing it again, but you put yours in. If you're just booby, you can sing booby if you want, but you can put whatever it is. So you can say, I love to go to sleep without the drugs. I love to go to sleep without the whatever the thing is that you thought that you needed. So I love to go to sleep without the booby. It helps me feel my feelings, feeling fully. I love to feel my feelings because it sets me free. So I can have my feelings and they don't have me. See, that's the gift. Is to have things, don't let them have you. If you're running away from something or if you're attached to something, that's an addiction or an aversion. Attachments and aversions are the exact same thing. Running away from something, you're still controlled by it. Needing to keep going towards something, you're still controlled by it. Exactly the same. So it's okay to have things. Don't let things have you. Start to find out what has you and then start to let it go. Because the only reason it has you is because you won't let it go. Once you let it go, you'll find yourself. And when you find yourself, then you'll be free and then you can go grab the thing again and it's fine. But you got to put it on the altar first. Once you put it on the altar, it might be given back to you, or you might be like, shit, what was I holding on that for? Have you ever been in a toxic relationship that you wouldn't give up and then finally did? And you're like, holy shit, why did I stay in that relationship for so long? That was horrific. That was destroying my life. Why did I do that? So just put everything on the altar. Put it all on the altar. And then once it's there, then you can start to pick again. All the collection, just lay it all down. Every relationship, every circumstance, every possession, just put it all on the altar right now. Like, okay, that's not mine anymore. And then just look at it all and say, okay, well, I'd like to keep that. Okay, that'll work right there. But give yourself some freedom, some space first. All right, so once you've gone through the real self, that's the emotions, and you allow yourself to just kick back and relax and go through the emotions, then you can pop out on the other side. You can make it to the promised land. So this is your true self. Everybody say true self. So your true self is your soul. This is who you truly are and always have been. The innocent, pure, perfect part of you that is infinite and eternal. See, this is who you are. You always have been and you always will be. You are perfect. You always have been and you always will be. See, most people are doing things for their perfection. Don't do things for your perfection. Do it from your perfection, because you already are perfect. See, if you're trying to become perfect, it's because you think that you're not. And if you think that you're not, then you believe that you're somebody that's I'm not enough. And if you believe yourself to be someone who's not enough, what kind of actions does a person who think they're not enough do? They'll do an action like get into a toxic relationship. They'll do an action like maybe go hurt somebody else. That's the actions that come from that identity. But somebody who's like, hey, I am enough. What kind of actions does a person who believes themselves to be enough take? They're definitely not going to be hurting themselves, which means they're not going to be hurting anyone else either. They're going to be giving. They're going to be contributing, going to be generous and compassionate and kind. So this is who you truly are, but you've forgotten about. And now it's time to remember. So everybody say, who I am is perfect. I always have been and I always will be. There's nothing I can do to become more perfect. There's nothing I can do to become less perfect. Because who I am is perfect. That's literally who you are. It's time to remember that. But in order to remember that, your ideal self has got to die. And when it dies, it's going to be terrifying, because now you're actually going to have to feel all the stuff that you've been running away from your entire life. Because that living in your mind was your protection mechanism to keep you in control, so you didn't have to have the chaos, to be in the River Jordan. Because you didn't have a boat to go through, and you don't need a boat. Actually, you can't get across with a boat. You got to float across. It's like a lazy river. Just hop in and just lay back and just enjoy the ride, and you'll pop out on the other side. So you're spearheading a global awakening. This global awakening is called the Great Remembering. How do I know you're spearheading it? Because you face it within or you face it without. By chance or by choice. You showed up to a creator event. Most of everything that you've ever experienced in humanity in the old world that we grew up in was a consumer event. It was literally its only job was to convince you that you weren't enough, and to convince you that there was something outside of you that was going to make you happier than you already were. So this is a creator event where you're taking full on responsibility for everything that's going on inside of yourself. So you're facing it within. You're facing it by choice. So when a little caterpillar is a caterpillar, it's eating up all the leaves. Now imagine if there were only caterpillars in the world. They would eat up all the leaves. There'd be no leaves left, and then all the caterpillars would die. But then one day the caterpillar starts to feel this pull, this calling, doesn't understand why, but for some reason the caterpillar goes up and makes a cocoon around itself. It doesn't know why this is happening. It just is happening. It just knows it's time to do something. And so in that cocoon, guess what happens to the caterpillar? It turns to mush. It literally turns to mush. So you could look at Awaken Life Live, and these 2 days is you showed up as a caterpillar. These 2 days are your cocoon. This community that you're going to experience here for these 2 days is the cocoon where you can turn to mush. You're protected so you can turn into mush. And then what happens? It's a cellular reorganization where suddenly the butterfly cells emerge. And as the butterfly cells emerge, bam, this thing, all of a sudden, now it's no longer a caterpillar, it's a butterfly. So you are here at Awaken Life Live. You're in this cocoon, and you're going to turn to mush over these, especially day one. Day one is mush day. Day two is butterfly day. Day one is death day. Day two is resurrection day. So allow yourself to just fall apart here. Allow yourself. It just to see you're under no obligation to be the same person today as you were yesterday. You're under no obligation to be the same person right now as you were 2 seconds ago. So let go of all the obligations of who you think that you're supposed to be, because you're not supposed to be anybody. Just be you. So you're going to let all the need of approval go. You're going to just let it rip. You're going to, when we take shares in a little while, some people are going to want to get up and teach, and we're all watching. So if somebody gets up and teaches, we're going to be watching you. And we're like, oh, look, that person's teaching. If they're trying to teach everybody everything, guess what? That's their real self. And they're not being vulnerable. They're not opening up their heart. They're just trying to show off. They're trying to show how significant they are, how smart they are, because that's what they think they have to do in order to be approved of. But you know what we're going to do? Like, stop that right there, because we're not going to reinforce your bullshit anymore. We're not going to enable you, because enabling someone is teaching them the exact wrong thing to do. If somebody comes up and starts teaching, then we're going to say, stop right there. No. You're not here to give right now. You're here to receive. This is your moment to finally receive the love that's coming at you. Just open up your heart and let yourself just show us your mess and watch how much we love you. Not for what you can do, but for who you are. Everybody say, I'm not loved for what I do, I'm loved for who I am. But see, you didn't know that before because you thought you were a human doing. You were still seeking approval. Now it's time to remember that you're a human being, and the being is what matters. The being is what matters. Who are you being? And if you're not being vulnerable and real and authentic, then who you're being is fake, and you're trying to get approval. You're trying to get people to worship your mask. And if you get somebody to worship your mask, have you ever been in a relationship with somebody and you still felt you were like you had a partner, but you still felt all alone? Why'd you feel all alone? Because you sold them a mask. You left you out. They fell in love with something that wasn't even you in the first place. And you wonder why, your mask drops off for a second and then they start criticizing you. Why are they criticizing you? Because you lied to them. So don't lie to us here. You can go out there in the world, lie all you want. Don't try to show off. Just be you. Just let it rip. See, I got one job, stay out of the way. Sometimes I say some really stupid shit. Some of y'all are like laugh at me like, did he just really say that? That was really stupid. But you know what? The reason stupid shit comes out of my mouth is because I'm not filtering it, because I don't judge it. And what I learned is sometimes genius comes out of my mouth. And you know why genius can come out of my mouth? Is because I let stupid come out of my mouth. If I stop the stupid, I stop the genius. I just let it happen. I just let it rip. So that's what we invite everyone here to do. Just show us your heart, man. Just show us your heart and just receive the love that's here. All right. So we're going to be taking shares in just a little bit. So just remember this. Remember what we just talked about here. You get up and you start teaching, but we're going to stop you. Whoa. Nope. You're still trying to earn our love. You've already got our love. Now just let go of some shit. Show us your shit so we can let it go. So anyway, this is we're here in this 2 days is the cocoon, but all humanity, when we went through this like lockdown, the world, and the world's about to get shut down again. And all that is the cocoon phase for humanity. It's time to just, be in solitude for a moment, be within for a moment, be with yourself for a moment. See, I love being with myself because I'm really great company. Most people hate being with themselves because they hate themselves. I love myself. So I'm like, wow, it's really great. Wherever I go, there I am. Thank God, because I can't imagine not being with me. I'm so awesome. I love, I love hanging out with me because I love hanging out with me. I love hanging out with everybody. Like I literally, like everybody here at the village, like they got to get on to me because I'm like trying to bring everybody all the time. Like, come on, everybody. Like, hey, come on, John. Like not everybody all the time. Come on, just like, come on. Like, oh, okay. All right. So, but anyway, so then you pop out on the other side as a butterfly. And when the butterfly pops out, it comes out and it starts drinking nectar. And the caterpillar is a consumer, but the butterfly is a creator. Why? Because when the butterfly shows up and it goes to the flower, it doesn't destroy the flower. What does it do? It pollinates it. It enhances the planet. And so that's what you're going to do out on the other side of this. You're going to pop out as a butterfly. Now, you might have the tendency to start looking at the caterpillars and judging them. Oh my God, you're still eating you're still destroying the planet. You can look at humanity. The people that still believe themselves to be caterpillars are still destroying the planet. And you could look at them and you could judge them. But if you judge the caterpillar, guess what happens? Boom, you popped right back in the caterpillar body and you got to go through the whole metamorphosis again. And it's painful. The metamorphosis can be painful when you're turning to goo. So you got to go through the whole journey again because it was a journey through your own judgment. You pick up the judgment again, then you got to go through it again. You get to go through it again. So if you judge the caterpillar, guess what? That means you're still judging yourself because you once were a caterpillar. That's how you got here. You screwed up before. You've done some bad shit before. And other people are still doing it. They just hasn't made it through the other side yet. They're still lost in the darkness. You were found. But those people are still lost. And if you judge them, you're judging you. You're judging your journey. If you judge their journey, you're judging your journey. And if you're judging your journey, then you think it wasn't supposed to happen. And if you think it wasn't supposed to happen, them, you miss the perfection of the moment. See, everything that ever happened in your life was supposed to happen. How do I know? Because it happened. Everything that you ever said, everything that you ever did was supposed to happen. How do I know? Because it happened. Everything that anybody ever said to you and did to you was supposed to happen. How do I know? Because it happened and it got you here to this moment. And this moment is perfect. Everybody say this moment is perfect. Thank God for everything that happened. Because if it hadn't happened, I wouldn't be here in this perfect moment. So you're going to learn a new language this weekend, the butterfly language. You're going to learn you're not going to learn how to speak with new words. You're going to learn how to speak with a new vibration behind your words. Because we're not looking at the surface. We're looking beneath the surface right now. We're going deeper. See, I'm using word. I'm using shit. I've used the shit to teach spiritual principles right now. How you can't use shit to teach spiritual principles. I just did. When I said y'all were emotionally constipated, you got it, didn't you? Like, oh, wow. If you were holding a shit your entire life, that wouldn't turn out very well, would it? What would happen if you spent the next 30 years, I'm not going to shit, I'm not going to shit. What would happen? I don't know, but it wouldn't be good. That's what you've been doing for 30 years. You've been holding your shit in, your emotions. Let it pass through. And then you'll be free. Oh, what a relief. Wow. Wow. You know, you ever took a shit and you're like, wow, I feel a whole lot better now that got out, and you can go on with your day. That's what it's going to be like when you let go of this emotions that you've been trapping in there because you've been judging it. Oh gosh, what a relief. Woo. Then you can go on about your day and go on about your life. So this weekend, you're going to learn the language of success, fulfillment, peace, joy, and love. So there's some important keys. I'm going to share these with you right now. And I've already said some of them already, but I'm going to say them over and over and over this weekend because these are seeds. I'm going to sow the seeds and we're going to water the seeds. The first time you hear me, I'm like, wow, breakthrough. Now, if you get something, if you hear something that you want, if you know that it would transform your life, it'd be a seed. It's a seed that you want to sow because you know it produce a beautiful fruit in your life. If any of those show up, then shout out the word breakthrough. What's the word? Breakthrough. It triggers your reticular activation system. That's part of your subconscious that says, hey, this is important. Have you ever bought a new car and suddenly you see your car driving around everywhere? Did all of a sudden 1 million of your cars just get dropped off? No, they were already there. You just didn't see them because you weren't tuned to them. Now all of a sudden your subconscious says, these are important. So bam, it sees them everywhere. So engage your nervous system, say breakthrough. When you shout out breakthrough, then suddenly, bam, it's important. And now you'll remember this and that will start to manifest in your life. And that's part of the first key. You manifest your reality with your subconscious belief systems. Manifest does not mean to create. It means to make obvious what is already there. The cars were already there. You just didn't see them because you weren't tuned into them. What's wrong is always available. So is what's right. You choose what to focus on. What you focus on expands. Most people, all they can see is problems. But you guess what? When there's a problem, there's also an equal or greater opportunity. So you're going to get sucked into the problem, or you're going to say, ooh, there's a problem right here, which means there's also an opportunity. See, problems are just the shit of an opportunity. If you walk into a room and there's a bunch of pony shit everywhere, you're like, okay, that's pony shit. That's pony shit. That's pony. You know there's a pony somewhere. So start to find the pony. Don't look at the shit and start eating the shit. Like, look, there's a pony. I know because there's pony shit. So problems are the shit of opportunity. You got it? That was a new one. I never said that one before. It's a new one. So y'all are lucky. Y'all are lucky that y'all got to be the ones that we birthed. Y'all did that. You guys actually, so I'm just staying out of the way. You guys, remember, you said, I'm not going to consume the greatest event on the planet. I'm about to create the greatest event on the planet. So y'all did that. Y'all just made up that metaphor. Great job. I think that was a really, really good one there. The problems are just the shit of opportunity. There's shit everywhere. There's opportunity shit everywhere. So I'm going to go find the opportunity. Stop focusing on the poo and start focusing on the opportunity. And that's great. Great job. Great. Y'all are awesome. All right. It appears without, though it is within. It appears, it looks like it's out there, but it's really in here. It appears, it shows up. It literally does show up out there, but it shows up out there because it's actually where? In here. It appears without, I would say it appears without, though it is within. We leave what is real in the pursuit of what appears to be. We've already been talking about this. So stop doing things for your worthiness. Do things from your worthiness. See, you already are worthy. If you're doing things for your worthiness, you're leaving worthiness in the pursuit of what appears to be worthiness. Approval appears to be worthiness. If I can get enough people to approve of me, then I'll be worthy. Well, you know what? That's the myth that Michael Jackson believed. That's the myth that Whitney Houston believed. That's the myth that Robin Williams believed. They believed if they could get enough approval, then they would finally be worthy. They believed it and they chased it. And you know what? They got the entire world to approve of them. And then they killed themselves because it was a myth, because it was bullshit, because they were chasing what was real in the pursuit of what appears to be. They already were enough. They didn't need the approval of the entire planet to be enough. So stop doing things for your worthiness. Start doing things from your worthiness. Stop doing things for love. Start doing things from love, because you are love. Everybody say, I am love. And from this day forward, I would do everything from love, not for it. All right, there is no good, bad, right, or wrong, just what works and doesn't work given what you're trying to accomplish. Now, a lot of people here will fight for bullshit right here. Some people are going to get triggered right now just about, there is wrong, there is right and wrong, John. Now, how I know some people are getting triggered about this is because one day I was on Facebook and I had over 5,000 friends. I'm like, I need to make some room for some new friends, because like more people were coming in, because I was like vibing up. I'm tuning up, and your vibe attracts your tribe. But there was no room for my tribe, because I started vibing low and I had a low vibe tribe. But as I started to tune up, then all of a sudden I got new people trying to come in, but I didn't have no space for them. So I had to let go of some of my low vibe tribe. So I'm like, well, how do I decide who's my low vibe tribe? How do I get rid of them? And I was like, ooh, I know what I'm going to do. So there's a little phrase that says, watch out for negative people. They got a problem for every solution. Who knows what I'm talking about? Anybody ever met a negative person? Every solution you give them, they'll come up with a new problem and they'll fucking bam. Like, damn, dude, okay, have your problems. Like, I give up. So, all right, so here's what I did. I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to post the most positive thing that I could ever possibly imagine. And you know what it's going to do? It's going to piss off my negative friends. It's going to piss them off so much they won't even be able to exist in my reality anymore. And that's not a problem. I'm not shaming or blaming this, because I was them, right? So remember that the caterpillar, I'm not judging the caterpillar. That was part of my journey. I was negative shit too. And I needed to go through that journey in order to finally wake up to the truth of who I am. I needed to know what love wasn't so I could finally understand what it is. So I went as far away from love as I could possibly get. And that's where a lot of my friends are still there. So like, I'm not judging their journey. It's like, cool, let me just let them go deeper in the darkness for a little while. Like I'm actually, it's like, you ever heard about if you try to cut the cocoon when the butterfly's trying to come out of the cocoon, you try to cut it open so it doesn't have to struggle, it'll kill it. So a lot of my friends back there in the darkness it's not dark enough for them yet. I'm actually killing them by just being in their world. I'm too bright, I'm too much light. So they're still like they haven't gone deep enough into the darkness because I'm still in their world. They need to go dark. They need to go all the way. So it's great for me to pop out of their reality for a little while so they can get really, really dark, so they can finally say, okay, that's enough. I found this, I've suffered enough. I've got far enough, because remember, sometimes we fall into heaven through the floor of hell. So some of them need to go all the way to hell first. So I got to get out of the reality because I'm too bright. So I posted the most beautiful, positive thing I could ever think of. And they got pissed. I'm like, holy shit, y'all are pissed. And it was great. It was amazing. They just started unfriending me. Y'all want to know what the most positive thing that I've ever said was that pissed off a lot of people? And watch and just check inside yourself. You're going to see if you still got some whiny, blamey victim inside of yourself. You're going to see your greatest gift is that you're always right. See that? Because you were created to create in the likeness and image of God. You got the full power of God. You're always right. That's your greatest gift, is you're always right. You guess what your greatest curse is? You're always right. The question is, what are you right about? So some of you are about to fight to be right. So we all say, who here agrees that love is the only thing that exists? All right. So we're about to find out if you truly believe that, or if you're just saying it to look good. You're going to know when I say this phrase that I posted on Facebook that pissed people off. If it triggers you, then you're full of shit. And that's great. Just take the shit and just let it out. Like, oh, that triggered me, John. And that's okay. Like when we do this, when we take the shares, oh, I was angry when you said that. Because then that's great. Like that's all your shit coming out. And then we can like clean it up. We can clean up the mess. My baby takes a shit and I got to wipe his ass. with a little thingy, and it's all fine. We'll wipe your little asses, and you'll be all fine. Throw a little baby powder on there, so you know it won't be all red and rashed up, and we'll put your little diaper on and go back off. You'll be fine. You're gonna be okay. So here's the thing. Y'all ready for it? Y'all hear what you ready to hear? The most positive thing that anybody could ever possibly say, and it's the truth. It's the truth. And remember, the truth will set you free, but it piss you off first if you're still fighting for a lie. See, lies have no effect over you unless you believe them. And if you believe them, then you think it's true. And then you're stuck in a world of suffering because you believe in something that was a lie in the first place, and you made it more real than real. So here it is. Check in inside yourself when I say these most positive things anybody could ever say. And you're going to know if you truly believe love is the only thing that exists or not. So here's what I said. I said, I forget. Hold on. Oh, evil doesn't exist and suffering is an illusion. Evil does not exist and suffering is an illusion. It's the most honest, positive thing that anybody could ever say on the planet. And people just got pissed. Evil does exist, John. Look at that. Look at that. Suffering does. You don't even understand my suffering. Well, see, love says the only thing I ask you sacrifice is your suffering. You know why? You know why people suffer so much? Because they won't let go of control. And you know what the only thing you're in control of is? Suffering. You can't control love, but you're in complete control of your own suffering. So the people that suffer the most are the people that are terrified to let go of control. Once you let go of control, you stop judging these moments and these circumstances, then suddenly, bam, you got set free, because now the truth of love can be revealed. Unconditional love, love without conditions. So some of y'all got pissed when I said evil doesn't exist. Yes, it does, John. It is real. It's real for you, but you made it up so you could stay in control because you're terrified to open up your heart and let love in. Everybody say, I love God, right? Well, anybody can love God. The hardest thing is to let God love you, because you don't have control over that. The hardest thing is to open up your heart and let love walk in and love walk right out. But see, when love walks in, all of a sudden you're like, oh God, it feels so good. And you try to package it. You try to put it in a box. Like, I ain't letting you out again. It's like somebody when they got a little pet bird. They stick their pet bird in a cage. I love my bird so much. Like, why you got that bird in the cage? Because I love it. Why did you clip its wings? Because it might fly away. You know what makes a bird a bird? It can fly. You're telling me that you love the bird, so you stuck it in a cage and take away the one thing that made it a bird, and that's because you love it so much? No, that's just completely dysfunctional. You don't love that bird. You're worshiping that bird. You've made it your God. If you love something, set it free. So you got to open up your heart. Let every relationship walk right in and let it walk right out. Let your house, your spouse, your children, let them walk right in and walk right out. Because love never left. When you put the condition upon love upon this circumstance or this person, when they left, you thought love did, but it was only your own bullshit. You lied to yourself. Love never left because you are it. All right, cool. What you believe to be true is true for you, even if it isn't true. You know, so have you ever had this moment where you thought your best friend, you thought they lied to you, or you thought they stole something from you? How did it feel when you thought your best friend lied to you or stole something from you? Oh, betrayal. Oh, they stabbed you right in the heart. Oh gosh. And you really felt the effects. But then you find out later that they never did it. They never betrayed you. They never lied about you. They never stole anything from you. The thing was never even stolen. It was like in your bedroom the whole time. But you got so angry, you got so hurt about something that never even happened. It never even existed. Oh, look, I see somebody in the chat. John, you will burn with it. So Daniel, I can see what Daniel, there's a guy named Daniel right now fighting for it. Fighting for the suffering, fighting for the evil. You're going to burn, right? That's great. Let's give it up for Daniel. That's beautiful, Daniel. Thank you so much for sharing your beautiful perspectives. Those are beliefs, and the beliefs produce a fruit. Remember, we manifest our reality with our subconscious belief systems. See, Jesus said, the kingdom of God is not low here or low there. The kingdom of God is where? It's within you. It's here and it's now. And so is hell. It's all here. It's not there then, it's here now, but you're deciding if you want to see heaven or you want to see hell. How do you side with your beliefs? What you believe to be true is true for you, even if it's bullshit. You can believe so much in suffering and so much in evil that you can't even see love anymore. You made the suffering everything. If you just look at my hand right here, it doesn't look like much. But if that's all you focus on, and then it blots out the sun, that's all you can see. So you get to tune in. Are you going to focus on love, which is the only thing that's real, or are you going to focus on evil? If love is for me, who can be against me? Perfect love casts out all fear. All of it is all gone. It doesn't even exist anymore. It never existed in the first place. It's gone. You made it up. You made up hell. You made up suffering. You made up pain. And the question is, are you going to surrender and let love guide you so you can represent love on this planet? Or are you going to keep representing pain? Are you going to keep representing evil? Are you representing evil? No, evil is the strongest force. Or is love the strongest force? Or is love the only force? You get to decide, and whatever you decide, whatever you believe to be true is true for you, even if it's complete bullshit. So you can make hell more real than real, because heaven is the only thing that's real. But you can live purely in hell because you believed in it so much. And I'm not trying to take that away from anybody. Enjoy your beliefs and enjoy the fruits of them. So love is the only thing that is real. If you experience anything other than love, then you are lying to yourself. Now, that's not a problem. It's an opportunity. So if you're upset, if you're triggered, if you're suffering, if you're in pain, you made it up. Because remember, we asked earlier, who believes love is the only thing that exists? Love's the only thing that's real. Those who don't know love don't know God, for God is love, period. God is love, period. And if you don't know love, you don't know God. And if you don't know God, you don't know anything, because God is everything. Love is everything. And if you don't know everything, you don't know anything. So if you don't know love, you don't know anything. And you're fighting for a bunch of stuff that isn't even real. So if you're experiencing something other than love, the only way you could ever experience it is because you're lying to yourself. You're inside of a story that you believe to be true when it's not even real. And I'm going to show you in just a moment right here. So your thoughts lead to your emotions, lead to your actions, lead to your results. So most people want to complain about the results, but the results aren't a problem. The results are perfect. Everybody say, my results aren't a problem. My results are perfect. They're a perfect reflection of your thoughts. So you will know them by their fruits. The results are the fruits. The thoughts are the seeds. Your mind is your garden. Adam and Eve walking around in the Garden of Eden. Guess what? It's their own mind. Your mind is your garden. What seeds are you sowing into your garden? Well, how are you going to know what seeds you're sowing? Well, what fruit are you getting? So once you understand what the fruit is that's showing up in your life, then all you got to do is trace it back and say, okay, because if I got lemons, if I'm growing lemons in my garden, what seeds had to have been planted? Lemon seeds. If I've got oranges in my garden, what seeds must have had to have been planted? Orange seeds. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand this. This is just how it is. If you got poverty in your life, what kind of seeds must you be sowing? Poverty seeds. If you got sickness in your life, what seeds are you sowing? Sickness seeds. Whatever the fruit that you're experiencing in your life, it's coming because you will know them by their fruit. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. You've actually manifested a whole entire reality around yourself. If it's not love, then you made it up. You kicked God off the throne. Now, you didn't kick God off the throne. You just kicked yourself out of God's kingdom by putting yourself on the throne. And now you're in a kingdom that doesn't even exist. It's like, what's that Frozen song? I'm in a kingdom of isolation. And it looks like I'm the queen. Yeah, you've isolated yourself from the only thing that exists, love. So the thoughts lead to the emotions. The emotion is energy in motion. Thoughts lead to energy in motion, which leads to actions, which lead to results. So the results are perfect. If you want a new fruit, they just need to sow a new seed. Everybody get that? Does that make sense? Is that very logical? It's not like woo-woo stuff out here. This is like literally logical. Boom, 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 boom. So your BS will make or break you. What's your BS? It's your bullshit. It's going to make or break you. So here's how it happens. There's an event happens in your life, and then you make up a story around it. See, every moment is meaningless. You assign the meaning of the moment. It's inherently meaningless. You get to assign the meaning of the moment. And the meaning that you assign to the moment is the meaning that you assign to yourself. And the meaning that you assign to yourself is what you're going to experience. Because if you make the meaning, this is bad, this is evil, that and you judge it as bad, then bam, you've judged yourself as bad, and suddenly you got the experience of hell. So you cannot change the event that happened. Everybody say, I cannot change the events that happened, but I can change the story. And when I change the story, I tune myself to new events. Here's what I mean. If you're listening to a radio station and there's only country music that's on that station, then you must be listening to a frequency that is tuned to country music. It's a country station. You keep hearing country songs over and over and over and over. You must be on a country station. Well, guess what? If you want to hear rap songs, then you can change the frequency. And when you change the frequency, did you just all of a sudden create all these new songs? No, they were already there. You just couldn't hear them because you were tuned to the frequency of country. And then you can say, well, I want to tune to the frequency of classical. Bam, you change the frequency, you hear new songs. You're still sitting in the same car, but you hear entirely new songs because you changed the frequency. So the story is the frequency. The story, the meaning that you assign to the moment is how you tune the dial. Because if you say this means I'm worthless, boom, you've tuned to the frequency of worthless channel. So now all you're going to hear is worthless songs. So the song is the story is the frequency. The event is the song. The events that show up in your life are the songs that show up on the station that you're listening to. If you're listening to the country song, then you're going to get country events. If you're listening to the poverty song, then you're going to get poverty events. If you're listening to the worthless, channel, the worthless frequency, then you're getting worthless events. So here's how it happens. One day, the little 5-year-old boy goes to his dad and says, "Hey, Dad, you want to play baseball?" And Dad's like, "Oh, I'm busy. Stop coming to me and asking me for stuff. I'm busy. Leave me alone." And then the little 5-year-old boy's like, "Oh my God, Dad doesn't love me. I'm not enough." And so now, guess what? The child made the meaning of that moment. This is bad, which means I'm bad. I'm not enough. And now he's tuned to the frequency of not enough. So guess what songs he's going to hear? He's going to hear another event that's tuned to that station. Guess what shows up later? He gets ditched on prom night. Of all the nights, he gets ditched on prom night. I knew it. I'm not enough. So your greatest gift is that you're always right. Your greatest curse is that you're always right. The question is, what are you right about? Are you right about what's true, or are you right about what's wrong? So he gets ditched on prom night, and then he takes his full power of God to manifest more events. Now he worked for 30 years at this job, and he was waiting for this position. And then the person finally retired from the position, and he was like, "Finally, I'm going to get that position. I've been working for 30 years to get that position. And once I get that position, then I'm going to finally know that I'm enough." But then a newbie that just got hired 2 weeks ago shows up, and he gets the job. And now this dude's like, 30 years of my life, I've been waiting for that spot. And now I've lost all hope. I'm never going to be enough. It's all over. So you can't change the event, but you can change the story. And when you change the story, you change the events, because when you change the story, it heals from the womb to the tomb and beyond. See, these stories were passed down to you from your parents, from your grandparents, your great-grandparents, and you're passing them down to your children. But when you change it, it's over. And everybody gets set free. All of your bloodline, it all gets set free. All the people that believe this story are now set free. They don't have to be trapped inside of a lie anymore. So what was the truth? Is the truth that boy's not, because his dad yelled at him, does that mean the boy's not enough? Is that the truth? No, it's a lie. It's complete bullshit, but he believed it, and he lived his life based upon those beliefs that were complete bullshit, and he made them more real than real, and he lived a life where he felt worthless, and he had all the events to prove it. You know what I'm saying? So it was a story. It was a lie. But what's the truth? Well, the truth is, it's not personal. He is enough. That little boy still is enough. He always has been. He always will be. When he got ditched on prom night, guess what? It's not personal. He is enough. Maybe that person just wasn't meant for them. It's like, monkeys and alligators, they don't really make good mates. They don't really fit together. Sometimes you're in a relationship with somebody that's like a different species than you. They're just not, it's not a good match. It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with the monkey. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with the alligator. They just don't match. Stop freaking out about it. Just go find somebody that loves you because you're a monkey, or loves you because you're an alligator, whatever that you are. Find somebody that loves, they're an alligator too, and they love being with other alligators. Like, it's not personal. I still am enough. The whole time, it's not personal. I am enough. So here's what happened. When dad says, I'm busy, stop asking me to do things. Why he said that is because dad had a belief. You know what dad's belief was? I'm not enough. Dad's working his ass off 70 hours a week because he thinks he's a human doing. He thinks he's loved for what he does, not for who he is. And he's trying to give his family the life that he never had. And if he can give his family the life that he never had, then that means he's finally worthy to have that family. And so he's working his ass off, giving everything that he's got. But no matter how hard he tries, no matter what he does, it's still never enough. His wife's still going to want more. His child's still going to want more. His child just wants to spend some time with him. He's like, hey, you want to throw baseball with me, Dad? And Dad's like, I'm working 70 hours a week. I don't have any energy left. I don't have anything else. And he's feeling like I'm not enough because I can't give my son I can't go throw baseball with my son because I'm so wore out. I'm not enough. He believed he wasn't enough. And then all of a sudden, the boy bought the same lie. And he lived inside of that same delusion that his dad was living in that whole time. Who gets it? So what we're going to be doing over these 2 days is we're going to find the event, and then we're going to find the story, and then we're going to go back to the moment where the story began, and we're going to tell ourselves the truth, and the truth will set us free. Who's ready to get set free? Say I. All right, awesome. So one last little thing before we're going to take a break here. We're about to take a 30-minute break, but before we do that, let me share one last little thing here. All right, so here's my last couple of slides here. So you notice that we put this event on for free. How do we put this thing on for free? Because it's not free for us, it costs us. Well, we're a nonprofit organization, so people make donations. When they make donations, people are sowing seeds into what we're doing, and it's magnifying our mission, so we're able to give this away. So anytime you want, you can make a donation, and then that would give us the opportunity to share this with more people. But before you were even consider making a donation, the first step is to receive the gift that this is, because this is an unconditional gift. What kind of gift? Unconditional gift. It's given without any conditions, without any strings attached, because it's in giving that we receive. But what most people miss, and this is what's so important for you to get right now, because it's important for me, and it's important for all the people who've made donations in the past that made it possible for you to be here. Here's the important gift that most people miss that you're going to get right now. You've probably missed it your whole life, but you're about to get it right now. And I'm going to talk about it later, and I'm going to share you how I came up, how I finally saw this truth. So it's in giving that we receive, but what most people miss is that it's in receiving that we give. So first of all, I'm going to say to you, hey, you're welcome. You're welcome. That this is an unconditional gift that I've given, and all the people are donors. We've got they're earth-making visionaries that are holding space. All the people that have come together to make this possible. We're giving our entire hearts. We're giving our entire souls. We're giving our time, our treasure, and our talent. We're giving it to you unconditionally. And I just want to say to you, you're welcome that we're giving you that unconditionally. And so the correct response would be, thank you. So you see that now, boom, the loop is connected to you're welcome and the thank you, bam. We've remembered. But watch this. It's in giving that we receive, and it's in receiving that we give. So I want to say to you, see, there's thousands of people register for this event. There's usually not thousands that show up. It costs us thousands of dollars to put this event on, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars to put this event on. And a lot of times there's, not thousands of people. There's never thousands of people show up. But you know what? If we put $10,000, if it costs us $10,000 and all our time and our treasure and our talent, and only one person showed up here and they woke up, one creator wakes up, you realize what that creator can do on this planet? You realize the positive impact of one person waking up, what that can do? hey, I make a pretty big positive impact on this planet, but I was once a whiny, blamey victim. I was once a consumer, a black hole, and I woke up. And now there's so many lives that are getting transformed because this one woke up. You could be that one that could wake up. And if it was only one of you here, you know, I've done events where nobody showed up. It's literally it was just me. And you know what I did? I gave my whole heart and my whole soul. I poured it in as if there was millions of people there. Because I get back what I put in. So, but I just want you to understand how important it is that you're here, how important it is to me, how important it is to all these people that have come together to give our time, our treasure, and our talent to give this away. Because you came and you received it. And you're receiving it unconditionally, without any strings attached. Open your heart and just be here to receive. This is receiving time for you, because most of you are really great givers, but you're terrible receivers. This is the moment that you learn a new way. Don't give less, just receive more. And then as you receive more, then give more. And then as you give more, receive more. You just got to keep opening the channel. So this is that opportunity for you to open up the channel of receiving, really feel the gift that this is. And I want to say to you, from the depth of my heart, thank you so much for being here, for you showing up. It means everything. For us to come together, put our time, our treasure, and our talent to give this away. And the fact that you showed up, it means everything. So thank you. And the correct response is, you're welcome. Give yourself a big round of applause. All right, we're about to go on break. So, hey, you can give this event to other people. If just send out awakenedlifelive.com or just share the Zoom link with your friends and your family, because we're just getting started. We just laid a foundation, but we're about to rock this thing. So go give it. Go bring the masses. Bring everybody that you know. Bring them here. We're going to go on a 30-minute break. They got time to get back. We're just getting started. We laid the foundation. We talked about the treadmill. Now we're going to get on the treadmill. Now we're going to get to work. So they didn't miss the work. So bring them on. Just invite them to come here, and also make sure you plug into our virtual village. If you go to earthwakingvillage.com, that's our virtual village that you can go plug into. If you take a healthy fish and put them in a dirty fish tank, what happens to the fish? They get sick and they die. But you take that dirty fish and you put them in a healthy fish tank, what happens? They get cleaned up. They come back to life. So Earthwaking Village is our virtual village. It's our healthy fish tank. So make sure you go to Earthwake during our break. Do two things. Go to earthwakingvillage.com. Make sure you sign yourself up in there. It's free gift. Another one. And also invite your friends. So yeah, invite your friends and join our virtual village. So you got 30 minutes. We're going to leave this thing open, so you don't have to go anywhere. If you're here live, then if you're watching this on the app, then there might not be. I don't know what it's going to look like when you're watching this on the app. But if you're here right now in the live thing, then there's going to be a visionary here holding a space for you that we can start opening up, and they're going to just really start to kind of decompress, like share what's coming up. And then when we get back, Kirk's going to come back on and we're going to take some shares. And remember, when you share it, it's not teaching. It's time for you to receive. You're not here to fire hose us with your shit. Just like, show us your heart. Tell us what's coming up for you. What's new because you've been here. And we're going to open that up. And so that's the segment that I'm really excited about, because we really start to get to unwrap the gifts. I get to find out what our gifts are, because you are the gift. Everybody say, I'm the gift. And so when we get back, we're going to unwrap the gifts. So love you all. We'll see you back here in 30 minutes. Again, you can stay here. There's going to be someone holding the space for you. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you so much. We'll see you really soon.